Okay, welcome to Psychology of Personality course, all right? And I'm Dr. Chin, and please take a seat first. Because of the class registration log sheet, I need to print out, and today I got some problem to do the printing. So I will give you the class attendance next week, okay? You can sign on the paper. So I just skip this time. And let me introduce myself first. My name is Chin Fong, and currently I'm teaching in education, the Hong Kong Education of University. And this semester, I will also be a part-time lecturer here to teach you the personality psychology. And my degree, I graduated in Monash in Australia. I studied the psychology and philosophy, and then I later go to PolyU as well, study the master degree, and then I got another master degree in CU, and then my PhD degree is study in America. So I'm also a prior practice counseling psychologist, so sometimes I will have some case in my clinic and then will do the personality test with my client. So tomorrow, if you are attending the tutorial sessions, I will further elaborate and discuss to you how to do the personality test with use different method to do the personality test. Okay. If you have any questions, you can send an email to me. And then let me show you the course. Wait a second. Course outline. We have a teaching plan. So I have uploaded the teaching plan. Yes, you can email me forwardchin@gmail.com if you have any questions. And another situation is I need to talk to you is because I need to go back to Education University of Hong Kong 即係個翻教大教書一陣間6點半。So if you don't mind, I will skip the break for this month, OK？因為教大有大概4、5堂到啦，我要翻過去大埔嗰邊。咁咧，我哋直接一路直踩喺度講廣東話啦，大家聽得明啲。咁唔好 break，一路去到搭9、5.9咁啊，直接落堂好冇？大家咁我早少少可以，因為我半個鐘真係飛車都唔掂啊。咁大家就咁啦，如果咁決定。OK，咁但係10月就會俾翻個 break 大家嘅，我哋1個鐘頭大概有一次 break 啦嚇，咁其實都係一次 break 嘅啫嚇。OK，so let's talking about the course arrangement first. Today we will going to have an overview of the different personality theories. We just do an introduction, right? I think most of you, I think should be all of you, right? Already take the introduction to psychology, and then you have some basic knowledge about Sigmund Freud, Maslow, right? This is the course you have been should be taught in the introduction to psychology, right? And we will further more detail talking about different school, how do they describe and they think about the personality should be, right? So we have trait theories. We also have psychodynamic, which is using Freud's approach. And then we have humanistic theories. We will use the behaviorism and also the social cognitive theory, which is Bandura. Do you still remember the Bobodor experiment, right? So we also have cognitive theories. We're using the CBT approach, all right? And we'll share you some future or currently we usually use this psychological neuroscience. Okay, we're talking about use the MRI or other medication system to do the screening for the brain and how these medication prove to show us our personality actually is related to biological. Okay, so and then we will also have a conclusion and review sessions in our last week. So prepare for your exams, mainly to, okay. For the tutorial session, we will cover it tomorrow, right? Just skip it first. And then I actually upload the textbook for you to the Blackboard. If you can view it, I think, let me have a look. Okay, I should be, 哇，太多班到我都唔知邊度啊。Right, okay, wait just a second. Okay, should be this one. Okay, I put all the materials here. Should be, right? Let me check. Not this one or this one. Okay, yes, I put here. And this is the textbook we are going to use this semester. Yeah, and I don't know why the the textbook is be uploaded in the Blackboard. Okay, but anyway, use it yourself. Okay. Try to don't print it out. It's because of the um, copyright issues. Okay, but I hope that it can save you some money, because when I was a student, every course I need to buy a book. Okay. How much now for a textbook? Because I have many years didn't buy a textbook. But when I was a student like you, right, I still remember 20 years ago, 600 for how much is now？ 即係我嗰陣時買一本曬科書要600蚊到啦，我已經覺得哇咁鬼貴嘅。而家應該過千㗎啦嘛，應該600蚊咁啊，即係你哋平咗啦嚇。OK。Alright, so anyway, and I will already highlight the chapters you should beware. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you can see that I remarks the chapter that cover the PowerPoint we're talking about each lesson. So try to, if you have time, you can go to read the chapters yourself, or you think the textbook is too difficult to to understand, then you can use the AI tools to help you, right? For example, you can upload the whole textbook to the ChatGPT PDF version, and then you ask the AI help you. Can you summarize the chapter 8 for me? What is the main point this chapter talking about? All right, then the AI will blah blah blah. Okay, this is help those lazy guys to read the books. All right, but if you have time, try to read the book. Actually, this textbook is not that difficult. I have read it myself. It's okay. Okay, and then we're talking about the assessment and your assignment and your exam, everything. Sorry. So just have a look. We will have 16% is the continuous assessment, which is not related to exam. This include a quiz in the week 8. So we will have a midterm quiz in week 8, and I will have a midterm revision in the tutorial session with you at week 7. So don't worry, I will help you to prepare the midterm exam, and then we will have a individual assignment. So tomorrow I will detailedly tell you how to do that. We will do a test tomorrow. Actually, we will do a VIA character personality test, and you will generate a report after you take around 10 to 15 minutes to finish a survey. And then after you get the report, this is used to help you to do the assignment. Okay, and then we will also have a group presentation and a group project. And then the group project, we need the presentation. We mainly will split to around, depends on each tutorial class, around 4 to 5 students for a group. And then we will use a movie or know for whatever someone popular person, okay, we all knows, all right. And then you can use the theory to analyze it. And we will talk about this in detail tomorrow as well. And then you will have a in-class exercise, which means the tutorial sessions. If you participate and you try to participate all the tests, we have different tests in the tutorial session. This is all the personality tests in different way and different kind of method to check your personality. And then you join all these exercise, and then you will get those marks. And we have exam. So the exam will mainly cover all the chapters we teach in this course, and in the MCQ. But some of them will be short questions and long essays. And so during the class, and especially the last sessions, all right, which if you don't have time to come, at least the last session you must come, okay, because we need to. But we should have 80% in this course, right? We have 80% attendance rate requirement. Yeah. Anyway, you can skip some, but not the last sessions, all right? Because we will review the exam, and during the revision, I will, somehow I will tell you, whoa, something is very important, okay? Then you make sure that you know that what is important, what is not that important. And then you will know that around the exam will have what kind of questions we ask you, okay? So if you have, is there any questions about the assessment and the course content? Okay, if not, then we can talking about some rules, right? Just because the course coordinator request me to remind you, right? I think all of you it's not the first year, so you know what is plagiarism, right? Did anyone be caught plagiarism? Yes, it's normal. Actually, when I was a student, I did it as well, right? And I don't know what is plagiarism. I just say I copy from the web and I change it. I do it myself, no problem. What's going on? 20 years ago, okay, I'm the same kind of like that, right? But yeah, this is plagiarism. You can't directly or indirectly copy something from the source in the internet or books without quotations, right? So you should know that, and you know how to do the APA format. Did you learn it last semester? So I will upload a dummy report for you to review as well, in case you forgot. Because every year the student did not realize that they need to use the APA format to submit their assignment or their paper. So in case you're not sure, I will upload to you later again. Okay. And this year we have one more things include is the AI. We're just talking about ChatGPT, right? And so thanks for the powerful computer technology. So you're more easier to gain the information and do your assignment. But also be aware that if you are working on your assignment, but I think you can't use the ChatGPT to help you to do the assignment because the assignment is related to you, right? So mainly is remind you if you use the ChatGPT without your self input, and usually the very guy and the Turnitin. So we're using Blackboard now should be very guy. Okay, we'll have a new system, right, to screen the paper is by human or use the AI to generate. So try to not doing that. Okay. And yes, that's the things I need to remind you。好，有個問題先啦，應該用唔到 ChatGPT 嘅，因為嗰份功課咧係講你自己啲個性嘅，同埋我已經有晒個 report 俾你㗎，抄都唔係抄 ChatGPT 啦，都抄個 report 啦，係嘛？咁所以就應該唔需要有 plagiarism 嘅情況。OK， 好嗱，course 嗰啲嘢有冇問題先？冇啊，咁我哋開波啦，時間有限啊，即係我哋好多嘢教下。咁就係啦，呢個啲街咧我掉晒上去啦，大家自己望一望嚇。咁俾分嗰啲，我遲啲講到功課咯，我再詳細教你嗰個 rubric 點樣去俾嗰啲功課嚇，我之後會再提嘅，因為好嗱食晒啲先。Yes, the paper is 800 即係寫800字嘅啫。OK, so when we talking about the personality psychology, let's discuss something interesting. The 12 constellations， OK 嗰個12生肖啊，大家有冇中學嘅時候咧都哎呀我水瓶座啊。我人馬座啊，我雙魚座啊，哎呀都好準喎，睇下今日個運程點先咁樣啊。今日不宜出門啊，所以我唔返學啊，真係。Right， 即係嗰啲無聊啦咁，但係有時睇下你都八卦下，都會睇下啲運程啊，係嘛？嗰啲whether I have lucky on the relationship or whatever， 即係有冇財運啊，有冇桃花運啊，係嘛？咁有冇睇過嗰啲星座書啊？或者你自己都知道自己咩星座㗎啦？你覺得嗰個星座形容你個性格似唔似咧？都似似地喎，係嘛？好似我白羊座嚇，即係比較熱誠啲啦嚇，自己覺得自己啦嚇，即係可能就中意領導多啲啦。咁我心諗係咪每個白羊座都係咁咧嚇？當然又唔係啦嚇。佢有啲年月日又有咩什麼太陽咩12宮唔知點樣影響。OK，anyway， so can you tell me from the personality or from the scientist perspective, is it scientific method to measure our personality, or what we call this is a fake science, right？ 即係偽科學，好似好專業嘅統計啊，因為12生肖其實都係用一個統計學啫嘛。And we also doing the same thing in our personality, but what's the difference 佢都係統計啊，不過擲色咁解啊嘛。我聽過以前有個幫人做嗰啲算命嗰啲，佢其實點樣擲色嘅，擲到啲咩就係抽嗰張紙出嚟，嗰個就係你今日嗰個運程啊咁啊。咁就係好科學噶啦，其實已經係。So yeah, it's a kind of categorization, or maybe have some, some Greek ancients, they have some power to elaborate what different kind of people's birth will affect by the affected by the different kind of 嗰啲12生肖啊。咁 OK，but it's not the real personality test. And also with Chinese 我哋中國人嘅12生肖你哋屬咩㗎？你哋呢度你應該同一個生肖㗎，你哋應該大部分人你屬咩㗎？牛、猴monkey 猴子係咪百厭啲嘅咧？係咪即係全部都好百厭嘅咧？呢度全部花果山咁樣咁好似我屬豬懶到死㗎啦但係唔係啊？豬好聰明㗎，豬識得計數㗎，你知唔知啊？教佢識得即係喺黑板計數。OK，anyway，this is Chinese version, right? Again, we have a lot of calculation, or even we check with our palm, or we talking about our different face characteristic, and then we can assume that someone will have a kind of personality 好似講啲咩嘴唇大嗰啲食窮狼嗰啲有冇聽過嗰啲咁啊？唔知咩有咩桃花蜜有咩八婆蜜啲有冇聽過呢啲咁嘅嘢咁係咪準嘅咧？呢啲又personality test 係咪咁樣去 check 嘅咧？又係偽科學嚟㗎好似準，但係其實唔係所以呢啲都係星即係啲掌學最好啦，即係同啲女仔識下我識睇掌心嘅，攞隻手嚟睇下先啦咁樣咁樣人哋以前用呢啲伎倆。OK，so it's not the scientific method to do a personality test. How about the Enneagram? Have you ever heard it? 呢個好似好真㗎咯呢個成日聽過啦。九型人格都好似層層喎，有咩頭心腹有咩古巴比倫有冇人做過㗎？知唔知自己幾號型人格㗎？冇做過點解我個 tutorial 唔擺呢個落去咧？知唔知點解？即係呢個 test 我冇擺落去，其實我可以做呢個 test 嘅，但係我冇擺呢個 test 落去，因為點解？因為喺personality psychology 裏面佢都係覺得呢個係假嘅，即係都唔係一個 scientific method 遲啲再解釋俾大家聽下。因為because if we need to really establish a theory or to use it as a measurement to test our personality, we must be measured or that's a statistically significant, which the internal validity for this Enneagram is not significant, powerful enough to prove that it's a scientific method. So again, it's not accepted, but it's a good tool for laymen to understand yourself, right? So what is a personality? We must fulfill some requirement to assume that this theory or this method is useful or trustable to measure our personality. So according to some different experts, they think that the meaning of personality is we try to define it as some people have like for example they are charming or they are very happy. So this is kind of characteristic. We use personality to describe someone's characters, right? And also, have you ever heard that some politic leaders is very charming, right? Or someone when you do a role, you must have some kind of characteristic, right? 即係有啲人咧做某啲工咧係有啲特質嘅即係例如啦，我舉例啦，可能係如果你係做科學家咁樣即係要計嗰啲咧，即係 NASA 嗰啲咧，你估你如果一個好 careless 嘅人咧，即係性格好，就聽日你做個 test 你就會知啦。其中一 part 咧就會計到你嘅 careless， 即係你嘅謹慎程度幾高究竟係1啦，定係排到拉尾24咧咁就可以知道你個人適唔適合做某啲工啦。Some politics, right? They have a kind of characteristic, or they look like very aggressive, or they are very charming, or they are very motivated 即係好似特朗普嗰啲即係雖然有啲人唔中意佢啦但係佢講嘢係幾有風格㗎係嘛？ So how do we know? And how do we know everyone will be the same, or why some people is different? Why some people is introvert? Why some people they are quiet and polite? And why some people they are so rude? All right, there's some reasons. We have used different theory to explain it. So anyway, in personality psychology, we try to organize, right, including a person, right? We use a psychological system to create person's characteristics, pattern of behavior, thought, or feelings. So what mean a personality? Which mean we must have a pattern, we must have a kind of systematic to measure or to understand or to calculate someone's behavior or their thought or their feelings, alright? Because this is the main things to represent a person 係嘛？即係好簡單，譬如如果呢度全班同學都仆低晒啦，而家雖然冇啦，可能半班啦而家，因為都夜啦而家。好啦，咁咧。咁啊，全部仆低晒，咁究竟係大家好攰啊，定係大家好懶啊，定阿 Sir 有問題咧？因為阿 Sir 講書就太悶啦，即係未夠半個鐘已經仆咗一半人咁啦。咁嗱，即係淨係睇一樣唔可以 confirm 得到嗰個人嘅性格嘅啫。嗱，好似而家呢位同學咁樣，可能好認真咁樣望住我，但係心諗，唉，講完廢話未啊？落得堂未啊？一陣今晚食咩好咧？嚇，係嘛？你心諗嘅嘢同你行為出嚟唔同嘅，唔一致嘅，咁呢個又係唔得㗎。所以其實一個人嘅性格，我哋係要觀其言點啊，看其行啊嘛，即係睇全面啲，唔係淨係佢表面嗰一陣係嘛，而係 overall consistently what he or she look like, or when he or she talking about some things, but he act out is another way, then we knew that, right? He is not the guy as we think. So he may be not honesty, alright? 即係唔夠誠實啦，或者表裏不一致啦。Okay? So personality not just used to describe a person's behavior, thought, and feelings. It also helps us to predict a human behavior. So that's why when you go to the government, you apply a job in some post in the government department, all right, like ICAC, or you go to be a police, all right. Usually this kind of organization will request you to do a personality test. Some even using the test we are going to do in our tutorial sessions, all right. 即係有啲最常用嘅咧就係 Big Five 啊，16型人格啦 ，which is 我哋嘅tutor都會做嘅嚇。ICAC 係做一個叫16 PF 啦，佢 check 你呢啲嘅特質嘅喎。點解要咁做咧？點解要你入職要做一個 personality test 咧？好多大公司都會咁嘅喎。係因為分配崗位啦，二來就係睇下你適唔適合係嘛，即係好似我講過啦，譬如機師做一個即係一個機師咁樣啦，係一個 crew 咁樣。你覺得佢有啲咩性格咧？即係唔係可能你哋冇睇啦，我哋個年代有睇《衝上雲霄》啦，即係唔係嗰啲嘢啊？飲酒啦，又去吸到，跟住又去揾啲空姐瞓下覺先咁，唔係嗰啲喎，係講緊最少我識得嗰啲機師咪咁啦嚇。咁但係佢要好多計算㗎嘛。They need to calculate 如果唔係嗰啲油唔夠咪大鑊咯，飛唔到嗰個地方。The weathers, we have a lot of consideration. We need to calculate. We need to be curiosity. We need to be carefully calculate. So when you do the test, when I ask you to do a test, and I already screen you. You are kind of person is very careless, and then most likely, right, we need to have a question mark whether this candidate is suitable to this job, right? Sometimes we can use the test to predict what will you perform, right? That's why we need the personality psychology, all right? And we also use the personality psychology to help us to understand why human beings are so different, right? Especially sometimes when we're doing counseling or we're doing the marital counseling, all right? The couples, they sit there, okay, they have a lot of conflict, but they don't know why they have so much conflict. It could be the personality, it could be the family of origin, all right? A lot of issues. So if we have a systematical test to elaborate or to help us to list out their characters or their behavior, so they are more easily to notice each other's strength and weakness, and then they can more easily to adapt to each other, right? So that's why personality psychology is useful to help us to have such purpose, right? And sometimes we have a questions whether our behavior is shaped by a situation or we have our own kind of behavior. I act like that and I won't change, right? For example, a test. Now we are talking in a lecture, and suddenly outside the door, right, there's some smoke coming in, and I still talking ADHD class. I don't aware the smoke, right? And you try to look around your classmate. Everyone remains silent, all right? So no one have any response. And you yourself, you are considering, okay, is it something happens? And you hear the alarm, all right? It's ring, right? That's a famous psychology test doing that. So tell me, if one person sit in the room, one on one, I talk to you, only two of us. And another situation, so many people like here, everyone sit here. Which situation you think the person will react quickly to check what's happened？即係一班人坐喺度及下，有個人彈出去及一及，係咩事啊？係咪火燭啊？定係一對一嘅時候，你自己坐喺度，你會即刻衝出去睇咧？你覺得？所以究竟係個環境影響你個性格，即係如果你個性格係好蛇龜嘅，但係一班人敵不動我不動我，大家都唔喐喎，咁啊即係冇嘢啦，咁我哋即係阿 Sir 都唔出聲，即係冇事啦嚇。但係我又其實好驚喎，係嘛啊？呢個時候你覺得究竟性格係受人影響啊，定係性格係有自己嘅個性咧？我係咁噶啦，係嘛？我話知你啦，係嘛？你覺得邊一樣嘢 environment shape us more or we biological influence others or ourselves more, right？即係我有個好即係明確嘅個性，定係我會受環境影響？我隨住環境，我性格會變嘅嚇。Let's say when you interact with your brother, you beat him, okay, right? Because he is so annoying, all right. But when you saw your boyfriend, you speak to him so politely, all right. And then you talk to your boss is another phase, all right. We're talking about we have different masks. Right? Is it possible？ 即係咧，見人講人話，見鬼講鬼話，會唔會有啲咁嘅人咧？會喎，其實係嘛？咁究竟係環境影響個人啦，定係我究竟係咪同一個人咧？定係精神分裂咧？嗱，去到後尾第3、4堂我哋講庸嘅時候，我哋就會講到呢啲嘢啦嚇。究竟係真係有個人係有固定啦，定係其實我哋有唔同嘅面具咧？有 mask 咧？係嘛？So think about that, right? Situation will influence us more, right? Or our behavior will reflect our individual. We won't make a change, right? All right. For example, when this is a typical example. I don't have time to play the video to you, right? For example, now someone you are a guest in the restaurant, okay? Someone 即係一個粗眉大眼嘅馬佬啦，係咪嚇？走埋嚟嗰度倒杯水俾你嘅時候，一嘢倒落你個身度喎，唔小心整濕咗你喎。OK， 咁咧你咧即刻點啊？即係有啲可能會唔鋸啦，係嘛？好啦，但係咧如果另外一邊廂咧，即係如果 opposite sex 啦都係啦。嗰個 waitress 或者 waiter 咧係一個好靚仔或者好靚女，仲要係你好中意個 type 咧，跟住咧你調翻轉，唔緊有冇事啊？唔緊要冇事，你有冇事啊？我冇事啊，係啊冇事㗎，我 OK 㗎，係你使唔使飲翻杯水鎮定啲啊？唔緊要啦嚇，我有個電話留俾你啊，得閒可以溝通下㗎，我哋咁樣係咪可能會變咗另外一個人啊？Then why the same event happen, but the reaction will perform so different, all right? It's because of the person or because of you, right? Your perception have changed, then your expectation will change, and then your behavior perform differently, all right? 你會 react 咗唔同咧，係嘛？ Okay, so again, why some my friends they can easily, get friends, and why I am so lonely 即係有啲人咧就真係宅男嚟嘅，識唔到朋友嘅，有啲人咧周圍都係，即係你唔好睇佢表面先啦，佢真係好多 friend 啊嘛，係嘛？咁點解有啲人咁容易識到朋友，我又咁難識到朋友咧嚇？係咪因為我真係肥矮，所以就難啲咧？定係有咩樣望落去？我覺得我自己都唔差過佢啊，都 OK 靚仔啊嚇咁咩原因佢吸引啲，我差啲？有啲人就係咩嘅喎？我唔知你中學有冇見過啲人啦，係好容易俾人恰嘅喎。Being bullied, some kind of people being bullied, we have categories, right? 即係有啲特質嘅人咧，or some kind of traits person, they are more easily attract others to bully them, right? So that's some reasons to causing them, right? And some people they are more easily to have a blue mood or depressed. Is something related to personality or is related to the genes, all right? That's also the personality concerns. Or why some people are introvert and others are outrovert, or why I need more, I can't concentrate, or first of all exclude the ADHD issues. Why I can't concentrate and others they can sit in the library for 9 or 10 hours to study, all right? That must be some reason to causing them, right? So that's the reason we want to know in the personality psychology. So we first of all we need to define what is personality, all right? So there's not single answer to answer these questions. Let's see if the YouTube still work or the link is broken already. Let me check. Okay, it seems the link is broken. Okay, anyway, we still have other video clips. Okay, so personality can be defined as this is definition of personality: a consistent behavior pattern or intra-personal process within the individual, which means consistent. So first of all, what means consistent? Right? In the first session, you come to the class in the middle of the class 即係我每堂都係好準時嘅，就係、我有個學生真係㗎，好準時嘅，臨落堂之前5分鐘就會翻嚟㗎啦。係我哋每堂都係落堂㗎咯，都翻咗啦，起碼叫做係嘛，好有性格嘅。佢每一次都係臨落堂之前5分鐘先翻嚟嘅。咁佢每一堂都係咁，咁我可以 assume 佢係有性格啊，定係真係咁懶咧？定係咁就特登係咪挑戰我個權威咧？係嘛？好 consistent 嗰樣嘢係嘛？咁呢個叫 consistent 啦嚇。有另外例如可能係堂佢都要坐死一個位嘅嚇，我唔知下堂你會唔會坐呢個位啦嚇。即係有啲人咧，你做乜坐咗個位啊？我一定坐喺呢個位就要坐呢個位㗎啦嚇。即係有啲好 stubborn 嘅 traits 嘅，咁呢啲都係一個 consistent 啦嚇。咁當然 that's a independent difference。有啲人咧就冇咁即係嗰個一致性冇咁大嘅，有啲人咧即係叫咩啊？講嗰句就一定要做嗰句㗎啦，講得出就一定要做到㗎啦。有啲人係隨口噏當秘笈講就算㗎啦嚇。下次食飯啦嚇，下次連你個名都唔記得咗啦已經啊咁所以呢個係一樣啦嚇。第二就係 interpersonal process 咧，就係 we talking about the emotion, the motivation, the cognitive process inside us. So we have feelings, act. So every time, or I should say a common situation, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, you saw he or she is, have an intimate behavior with some strange guy you don't know。即係你見到你個男朋友或者女朋友同一個陌生嘅男人或者女人啊，當然如果你個男朋友同一個陌生嘅男朋友攬埋一嚿嘅時候，你更加驚咧，又憤怒又驚啦，係嘛？咁嘅時候咁 exactly 就係你裏頭嗰種感受有啲人見到個男朋友出軌，哎呀佢出軌啊咁啊，即係唔敢出聲嘅喎，甚至可能講其實幫佢辯解其實可能佢哋朋友嚟嘅啫Alright, and I asked some kind of student, if your partner betrayed you once, can you predict the next time the chance he or she will betray you is how many percent 即係我下次唔會 marry 你信我真係唔會，我斬手指100%係嘛係啦，出軌指數只有0同埋100，一係出一係唔出係嘛 ？OK， so but some they will but even they know their boyfriend and girlfriend is betray him, they still remain in the relationship. Why? But some even just a little bit, right? Not talking about you have a intimate relationship with a strange guys or girls. Just you group with other classmates with a female, alright？ 即係我試過有個學生係，好慘，我唔可以佢話我唔可以依組入依組嘅，點解唔可以入？我女朋友會殺咗我㗎，如果我嗰組有個女仔，係我死緊㗎，阿 Sir， 你唔好害我啊咁樣，即係嗰個強勁程度去到嗰個組裏面有個異性都唔得嘅有異性生物，咁你阿媽點算啊？有冇殺埋你阿媽？我心諗OK 係嘛？咁所以因人而異嘅喎，有啲人反應大啲嘅喎Even the baby is different. Okay, I have 3 daughters. Alright, later we talking about the characteristic for a baby. You will know that. Okay, my elder daughter's reaction for something is different to my youngest daughter. Right, they're completely different for the same things I did. Okay, for example, I tell you a story. Okay, I pretend use my mouth to bite my daughter's ear, right? And then we show in front of the mirror. I hand out her, okay? 我即係抱住佢啦，咁照住塊鏡咯喎。咁咧個個都係3個月咁樣做呢個動作，我就扮咬佢隻耳仔啦。咁佢隻耳仔度嘛，我就咁樣就吸住隻耳仔啦。咁我大嗰個女咧見到我咁做咧，就點啊？咔咔笑，好開心嘅，哈哈哈咁好開心嘅，好啦。我第二個女咧就 呆望住我就冇乜表情嘅，就唔知我哋做乜嚇。最細嗰個咧，我一咁做咧，佢喊喎，係啦，喊得好大聲添喎，哇！即係好似真係咬咗一啖咁喎嚇。你諗下，連 BB 都會有好大嘅唔同嘅反應係嘛？所以你睇到由細到大都見到一個人有性格差異。OK，so the key point is here that must be something extra source influence us, but we're not sure. It's not only the situation, but also the biological and the interaction. So your biological individual has some element, and then the outside situation has another part of element. Together, we create your behavior, your reaction, or your thought. All right. So the nature of the personality actually is we want to know what sort of creatures are we? That's the questions considered by the psychologists, all right? Why we react in that way? Why we will perform in that way? Is this some theory can explain our explain our behavior or explain our thought or reactions? That's something we want to know. And individual difference, why again, we have billion people in the world, all right? We actually, even the twins, all right? They look like the same, but their personality, is it 100% will be the same? 即係就算係孖妹啊或者孖仔啊，佢哋嘅性格都會有差異嘅，係嘛？咁就係啦，大家都同一個阿媽生，仲要同一個卵生出嚟㗎啦，都已經係嘛？點解都會唔同嘅咧？有啲諗嘢有啲唔同，可能中意嘅喜好有啲唔同，係嘛？或者大個為咗令到人哋覺得佢哋唔係媽嘅，一個特登短頭髮，一個特登長頭髮咁樣，點解要咁咧嚇 ？Alright, so not even say we have so many people here. Then can we use some theory to explain? Because everyone, which means we have one kind of personality. But in that case, then how can we capture or describe someone's or predict someone's behavior? All right. We knew there's a difference. We have a variation, but at the same time, we want to know something common. So how to distinguish the difference 係嘛？點解有啲係咁，有啲係咁咧 ？Theory 裏面就想佢揾出呢啲答案 ，OK？ And we also want to have a clear answer is how we shape, okay? Human beings being shaped by the complex. I mean, or like for example, your educations, your family backgrounds, or other your past history. Is it this the stuff influence you, right? That's research. That's three brothers, all right? They are the same biological brothers, but I separate them to three different families. One is a rich family. The second family is the middle class, and then the last one is the root class, okay, just a poor father and poor mother, okay， 即係好窮嘅嗰啲嚇，窮人啊，真係好慘啊！咁三個咧，一個有錢佬，一個中產，一個係窮人養出嚟嘅，仲要佢哋三個咧係隔到10萬8千里咁遠啊！咁究竟佢哋有冇差異嘅咧？你發覺原來佢哋大個相應翻好多行為都好一致喎，例如佢哋中意嘅球隊同一隊啦，中意飲嘅啤酒係同一類型啦，中意嘅女仔都同類型㗎，唔知冇即係都係中意即係長頭髮啊、金髮啊、大眼啊、大胸啊咁樣係啦，咁個男仔都係咁噶啦，其實，所以冇乜特別。但係佢哋啲癖好都係好接近嘅，即係譬如翹腳嘅方法啊，中意着嘅衫啊 ，even 佢哋隔咗唔同嘅人樣，但係最後某啲嘢佢哋都係一樣嘅喎。咁所以點樣解釋呢樣嘢咧 ？So how to re-explain is because of biological or the environment, the genes or psychological, or what really influence our personality？ 真正影響我哋嘅性格係邊一樣嘢咧？咁就係 personality psychology 好想知道嘅嘢嚇。So but as well as we want to use the scientific way to understand the human personality, right? Because we can't use the fake science to do it. Especially we need consistent and the pattern is measurable and use the statistic to prove it, right? So at the same time, we want to have a general, integrate and clear concept about personality, right? If too complicated, you explain to me， 即係講下你嘅性格俾我聽啦。咁你講一大堆 theory 㗎嚇，即係光加熱等於火，火加光就等於我咯咁樣。有冇聽過呢首歌？你哋個年代應該唔知咩嚟嘅嚇，咁即係羅文嗰首歌嚇。 咁仲要再加埋個舞蹈，光加熱等於火咁啊，咁咧就係呢個阿 Sir 黐線嘅嘛。OK，咁 alright， so we need to easy to understand, and especially we want to understand how to do the assessment. If too complicated, then it will be difficult to measure, all right? And then we want the test is we can identify some important theories. That mean we can use the theory to explain your behavior or your personality. And then we have some themes to do that. That's why we have different schools to do that, okay? So we have another question is what makes personality psychology scientists, right? Difference to those, right? Other fake methods 即係嗰啲假嗰啲，譬如睇手掌啊、塔羅牌啊、星相啊嗰啲啊嚇，咁梗係有啲唔同㗎啦。OK， alright， we need to use first of all we establish a method is use a scientific way. Alright, we can't, for example, some kind of psychological personality psychological test is well used in church, but it's not a scientific way. We say, for example, 嗰個有一個叫做先我嗰個 TJTA 有冇聽過？有個人格測試，啲教會好中意用嘅。咁TJTA 有個咁嘅測試啊。咁點解嗰個唔得咧？就因為本身嗰個 test 咧，最原先嘅設計咧係俾軍人用嘅，佢哋攞嚟測嗰啲軍打仗嗰啲人啊。咁但係後尾將呢套嘢搬咗翻去平民嗰度，咁其實個原意已經唔同咗啦嘛。咁喺 scientific 嘅角度係唔得咯，就算你做得再好都冇用啊。TJTA 嘅嗰個 test 叫做嚇。So we must be measurable by a scientific method, and also we need to this kind of method can concern the qualities of human being. Right? For example, sometimes it can't everything use the statistic to calculate. How about human being? We have religions, we have music, we have art, we have this kind of emotion. How do we measure it? Right? It's also a kind of part of us, but we can't use the statistic to do that. Then how can we create a theory include this part? And that's the point or the wish for the psychologists want to do. So, and then the second object for the personality psychology is that we want to help people, right, to live more fully and satisfied, which means we want to improve them. For example, tomorrow I will help you to review the VIA test. After doing the test, so you will see that you have number 1 to 24 different kind of characteristics, right? So when you see the 24 characteristic is forgiveness, right? 即係有㗎，今日見到一個同學，即係一睇就知道小氣寶啦，即係佢嗰個饒恕寬恕係最低嘅，即係話咩咧？佢嗰個有饒恕同寬恕呢個特質咧係最少嘅，係啊。咁即係咩啊？即係多數嚟講佢就小氣寶咯嚇咁啊。咁但係唔緊要㗎。咁有冇得改進咧？咁我知道你個人係有一個同學係冇愛，唔識得愛，亦都唔愛人嘅。咁可唔可以改進咧嚇？係咪一世人我就唔識得愛人咧，同埋被愛咧嚇？好慘㗎啫嚇。咁係可以改善㗎嘛？即係好似我咁，我個女同我一樣㗎，我係23個24。嗰個謹慎程度啊，我23個24嚇，咁阿女我比你叻少少，所以我可以有資格話你嚇，唔該你努力啲，小心啲啦，計條數成日計錯。爸爸你成日教錯我數喎，咁係我睇條題目同埋我教錯個女都係搬出搬入啲貨，點解負數嘅？原來一個搬出一個搬入啲貨，我話你減唔掂喎，負數嚟喎嚇，即係朝頭早有咗雙貨喺度，跟住咧朝頭早工人又再搬啲貨入嚟，跟住晏晝搬走啲貨出去，原來我冇睇到，我淨係睇到搬出咁樣。我讀寫障礙㗎嘛，因為我咁咪咁咯嚇。Okay, but is it possible to improve? Yeah, we can improve. Otherwise, why we need counseling? Why we need to do a test? We want to do a test to let you know that who you are, how you be. But we also want to help you to make change. All right? That's the reason we want the personality psychology to help you to perform better, to overcome those shadows in your life. For example, Freud say that we have fixation in some developmental stage, right? Still remember the oral stage, the anal stage. So does it mean that if you miss the healthy, positive development state, the whole of your life will be negative, right? 有冇可能你成長之後被愛感動融化咗，改變咗啊？鐵漢都變咗柔情係嘛？即係一個壞人可以變翻一個好人咧，係可以㗎。至少淨係我睇我自己已經係啦。咁當然我唔係真係壞得好緊要啦，少壞啦咁啊。咁但係即係係啦，即係都有跟下啲大佬咁樣㗎，咁啊都係你吹雞打交咧。我有啲好叻嘅，50蚊就出去做企堂嘅啫，即係企喺度嘅啫。但係真係立架撐打喎，第一個我同大家講，我執架撐邊度執啊？執石仔啦，走第一個閃翻就我啦，啲性格啊。OK，but anyway 係啦，即係改變㗎嘛，細個就可能咁，但係大個就未必定咁㗎嘛，人係可以改變嘅。咁所以我哋希望做到呢一樣嘢啊。OK，and then the theories of personalities we have different system, right? So no system is perfect to explain all our nature, okay? Especially each system use different kind of perspective. Some talking about the psychoanalysis, some talking about from the biological approach, some use the social aspect to explain it. So this is so many different theory, but no matter how, each theory's goal is to help us to understand the diversity and the complex of the personal functioning in the real world. Because human is complex and difficult to explain. Someone say woman is trouble, and I say man is also unpredictable. OK， 即係女人好查補，男人都好麻煩啫，係嘛？咁點樣可以知道一個人嘅性格咧？係嘛？完全可以去形容到一個人情況咧？人係好複雜嘅喎，我可唔可以好簡單咁就可以肯定到你就係咁咧？你就一定咁噶啦，你冇得改噶啦，冇得救噶啦。即係例如頭先講啦，阿 Mary 我劈咗一次腿啫，雖然話呢個世界0同100啫，呢個世界都有 variation 噶嘛，有例外事件噶嘛，我咪嗰個例外咯，我就係你生命中嗰個例外咯，係嘛？我哋注定一齊㗎，你原諒到我一次就可以原諒埋我第二次㗎啦。渣男呢啲嘢係世人對我嘅誤解啫。其實我心裏面不知幾愛你咁啊。OK，so yeah, we want to know that human is so complicated。例如我舉個例啦，我真係同大家講過，我實在做過個 case。有個女仔嚟揾我做輔導，佢臨結婚之前2個禮拜上嚟揾我，佢同我講話佢好苦惱咩咧？佢諗唔到咧，就2個禮拜後之後咧，究竟嫁俾邊一個？係啊，嫁俾邊一個啊？呢個係咪渣女咧咁樣啊？因為咧佢同一時間原來好嘢喎，你5年可以同一時間。即係時間管理大師嚟㗎，真係同2個男仔一齊都結婚㗎咯，下2個禮拜都仲可以 keep 到喎，咁你繼續 keep 啦，反正都 keep 到咯，結婚同唔結婚都係一張證書啫，唔爭在啦。咁我哋揾我有何貴幹？咁我就即係想去即係 so complicated。Anyway the story 即係長話短説啦，就係佢諗下究竟嫁俾 A 好定 B 好啦。咁我幫佢分析啦，A 就咁嘅性格 ，B 就咁嘅性格啊。簡單嚟講咧 ，A 咧就係做公務員嘅，收入穩定，青梅竹馬，由細到大識大嘅，拍咗拖好耐㗎啦。咁但係咧就係細水長流，好似一杯白開水咁嘅啫。即係愛情就好似一杯白開水，一啲刺激都冇。佢人生就唔想咁樣。另外一個咧就好似華啲咁樣嘅嚇，即係又好風趣幽默啦，個樣咧即係真係騎架烈火戰車啦咁啊，跟住帶佢周圍 visit 啦，即係成日同佢做啲 crazy 嘅嘢，咁啊好充滿生命，又充滿樂趣嘅，同佢一齊就好識氹佢嘅。即係可能無啦啦咧吊架無人機，跟住咧上面寫住 I love you 咁樣喺20幾樓嗰度喺個即係有啲好 crazy 嘅行為嚇。咁個問題就係咧佢咧就破產又結過婚喎，有個仔喎嚇。但係同我一齊好開心喎，而全世界人都話你咪傻㗎女咁樣同佢一齊。咁你會揀邊個？正常人會揀個穩定嘅，就係揀個佢話我唔試過就係死不心息㗎啦，新人咁樣嚇。揀個穩定，但係好難揀個係啦，搞理性話俾我聽要揀個穩定。But my heart toward the unpredictable guy. Okay, so sometimes we can't easily to tell her how to do, but I try to help her to systematically analyze the personality and how they match each other. And then she find that she is really matched with the guy B. Okay, but the problem is for a long time. Established relationship. She herself, she noticed that, or she also can predict that maybe cannot long last. But if with guy A, it can be long lasting. But the life is boring, all right? So it depends on your characteristic, your personality. You can suffer or accept 即係你認命咯，你肯人生簡簡單單，唔好搞到自己咁複雜啦，係嘛？跟住佢問我點樣可以結咗婚但係又唔當結婚咧我心諗點樣結咗婚唔當結婚，咪話佢夾硬強迫你結婚咯其實有3個 reason 可以宣布婚姻無效不過呢個唔係我哋範疇，我就唔多講。其中一個咧就係佢強迫你結婚你係被逼嘅啫，俾人綁住上橋嘅。咁呢個喺香港冇可能簽粒紙唔存在呢樣嘢啦仲有啲就係你去嗰啲咩斯里蘭卡無理求錫嗰啲咁嘅唔知咩地方度結婚，冇人承認嘅係咪？Alright, anyway, so theory is useful for us to predict and do the proportions, right? And theory can also help us to contain, alright, the assumption, especially we can systematically to relate each other. I mean, from the theory and the personality. We want to explain it, okay? And we also make an empirical definition because all these theory are based on the scientific assessment, right? Except Freud, alright? 即係除咗 Freud 之後咧，其他啲都係應該係經過驗證驗算出嚟嘅，就唔係你把口話係就係嘅 ，OK? Alright, so now let's have a look how theory help us to understand or to help us to find the personality how the theory serve us to work on the personality, OK? 即係點樣可以知道嗰個人格，即係 theory 有咩幫助咧對我哋你等先啦，揾翻嗰個條片嘅時數OK 好啦好，我哋呢度開始睇啦，廿幾分開始睇啦嚇。Okay.
When we, the comparatively ugly, see that perfectly symmetrical jawline of yours, gym-toned abs, those.
好，聽唔聽到啊？後面爭少少，爭10零秒，費事搞啦。最後嗰排聽唔聽到啊？生聽好應該係呢個開始啊，講得悶過我啊，得曬。OK 嗱，所以呢度睇到咧，即係個人幽默咧、有趣、風趣咧就算佢個樣生得平庸啲咧都可以。即係救翻唔少分㗎係嘛？即係個性格，如果你係有趣funny係嘛？就算你個樣生得唔靚咧，啲人都覺得你靚仔啲咁所以呢個 theory 咧，其實想講咩咧？就係想話幫我哋知道咧，其實其中一樣嘢就係 personality 好多時候有一啲 hypothesis， 譬如會唔會個人 funny 啲？就會吸引人多啲咧，或者個人勤力啲，就會俾人感覺到踏實啲咧。呢啲都係一個我哋想去知道嘅一個theories or we want to use this theory to help us to understand human beings 嘅 tricks, right? And also accept that we want to the theory should not only describe the past or present event.But also predict the future, which I have mentioned a few times already. If the theory can only tell you, oh, your childhood is blah 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 blah, and now you're blah blah, but this theory or this knowledge can't help you to know or to help you to predict your future, then what's the reason for me to know these things? These are the things I already know that, and it can't help me change. Like when we do the counseling.You talking to me your family of origin, and I share with you, okay, you explain to you your family of origin, your mother is treating you so bad, blah, blah, blah. But then, that's the end. How these past history can inspire you or can make you change. For example, for myself, my father and mother always have conflict, all right? They always argue with each other.So whole of my life, for 40 years, even right now, sometimes they phone me to complain, oh, your dad, blah, blah, and then next day my dad call me, your mom, blah, blah, okay, right, dad, mom, I have been your counselor for 40 years. Can you pay me back at least some quiet time, all right? I don't need you pay me, all right? Just give me some times to relax. Don't let me involve in your marital anymore, right? But yeah, because of their performing that way, it helped me to become a counselor, all right? To become 即係多謝我爸阿媽啦，教識咗我做呢個輔導員。因為點解我40年嘅輔導經驗都係喺呢度嚟㗎嘛？我比人早咗20年啊，就係我出世嘅時候已經聽佢哋嗌交㗎啦，係嘛？咁我更加識得做睇眉頭眼額啦。咁所以 So how these past history can transform is good. You can say, oh, you got a very poor, very unlucky childhood. That's it. But how you change, use these as a resources to help you to improve. Sometimes not everyone lucky, but of course, if you got a good family, you got good education, you got a nice development environment, that's good. But sometimes it's not. Then we need to use these resources to help us to predict ourselves later. It can be good or bad. But usually, if you have a worse childhood, when you establish your own family, okay, like you have a new marital family, we can predict that your marital will be good or bad. Especially two of you also have a not， 即係如果兩公婆咧，即係佢哋有時我哋做婚姻輔導咧，兩公婆哇個原生家庭嚇死你啊！刀光劍影乜都齊晒嚇，即係走私販毒啊，樣樣齊啊！咁兩個咧都已經嚟到都已經成日嘈交啊，好多嘢好多嗰個性格，你話性格啊嘛。咁根據呢啲咁嘅 theory 幫我哋做 prediction， 你覺得呢兩個人嘅婚姻會唔離婚嘅機會率有幾高咧嚇？即係唔講得長啦，3年有啲可以 predict 到3年就離婚㗎。譬如我哋做 prepare and rich 咧，如果係屬於最差個 type 咧，即係墊底個 type 咧，基本上3年裡面佢有80%都會離婚㗎啦，已經係準確率係去到7-8成㗎，已經係。即係我預計佢好大機會率離婚㗎，7-8成嘅機會率離婚嘅。咁所以呢啲 theory 先有用啊嘛。因為我去幫都睇你兩個都諗先，我結婚就算要結都要係咪做多啲了解先啊，或者係 make change 啊 ，OK？ So this is the functions for us to have personality theory, right? Because we want to use to predict, right? And most important is theory concept must be testable, all right? If the theory is only applied on someone, that is not a theory, right? Because it should be a generalization. No matter the theory is using on Chinese or using on Japanese, will be the same, right? For example, right, mother actively encourage their feeling, right? So we can predict that the child group up will be more willing to disclose or be more unwilling to disclose their stuff。即係如果細個爸爸媽媽好多鼓勵好多愛嘅，你覺得呢個小朋友長大咗之後會係滿有愛啊，有正面啦，定係個人係好負面啊，好消極咧？你覺得正面啦，應該係啦，呢個應該冇理由調翻轉噶嘛，係嘛 ？So a good theory can help us to use the research to generalization, no matter put in which situation, the test result should be quite similar, all right? So the personality therapists are also people like us, right? We also holding different will. That's why personality psychologists have so many different schools. And sometimes even each school will, be contradicted. Okay, some schools say A version, some other schools say B version because they think the human being is different. Like Freud think that why we are being human? Because we have desire, right? All human beings have desire. Either we avoid death or we wish to survive, 係嘛？生之本源同死之本源啊嘛，有冇上個成有冇學過啊？Introduction to Psychology 講 Freud 嘅時候，仲交晒俾老師啦已經嚇。咁所以 Freud 先講，所以最終所有嘢都同性有關啊嘛。Everything is sex 係嘛？所有解夢全部都同陰道有關㗎。所有解夢，你任何一個夢嗱，你過隧道梗係好想捐陰道啦，係咪啊？你見到個水樽啊，梗係好中意陽具啦，係嘛？乜都係同性有關嘅。最後咁你好難同佢傾偈嘅，其實即係最有問題嗰個其實就係佢係嘛？成日話人哋有戀父情意結、戀母情意結，其實就係佢自己有係嘛？佢投射咗落嚟啫嘛，話人哋有。Alright, but not everyone like Freud. For behaviorism, we think that personality can be shaped. We can change human beings' personalities 係嘛？即係可以改變一個人嘅性格㗎喎啊？點樣可以令到你唔多口咧嚇？打到你唔講嘢為止咯，係嘛？一講嘢就打你啦，或者 condition 咗你係嘛？係理論上係真係 work 嘅喎，可以係。例如我屋企有隻前次啦 ，OK？ 你知唔知咩前次啦？龍貓啊嚇！我心諗點解人哋啲龍貓又可以抱又可以錫，我哋屋企一隻龍貓咁鬼衰嘅， 即係掂下佢都即刻，即係冇嘢食咧就即刻走開。除咗個女可以抱佢之外咧，我哋冇人抱到佢嘅。咁我諗下都係我哋啲主人懶咯，因為人哋嗰啲有 training 㗎，即係有轉圈先至有嘢食。我係又俾嘢食佢，咪又俾嘢食佢，即係養到佢肥屍大隻成隻貓咁樣而家嚇。咁啊，所以心諗我都有啲責任啫嚇。So actually, even the animals have a personality, right? How not talking about the human, right? So you can shake them, especially when they are young, right? Or they are still an infant, right? That's the perspective from behaviorism. But from others, like biological perspective, they think what we born like that will be 即係我細個咧係如果係蠢嘅咧，阿媽生得我蠢咧，我大個咧點改咧都係蠢噶啦，即係不過喺蠢之中嘅最聰明嗰個咁解啦嚇。係有個 theory 即係咁講嘅喎，不過呢度冇教啫嘛，就係有 A、B、C、D 四個嗰個 traits 嗰個即係 chromosome A 嗰個就係 bicycle 啦 ，B 嗰個就係A 嗰個就係人啦，行路啦，兩隻腳啦，11號巴士啦 ，B 就 bicycle，C 就係車啦，D 就係飛機啦嚇。咁 D 嗰個咧飛機咧嗰條巴咧係你 A 窮一生努力咧都去唔到個起點嘅，明唔明意思啊？即係話咧你根據 biological 講法咧 ，if your father and mother give you a good genes, thanks them, you will be easily to gain what you want to gain， right？ 即係如果你爸爸媽媽生你，即係如果你爸爸媽媽個 genes 好啊，遺傳俾你又應該都唔會差㗎啦嚇。咁咧就算咧你黑埋眼唔讀書咧，即係有啲人真係好過，唔使讀書都可以讀到好勁喎嚇。點解有啲咧好似我咁咧，以前哇讀極都讀唔入腦嘅嚇，即係最衰都係我媽嚇。即係唔叻咧就關阿媽事㗎啦，一定係嚇，因為真係㗎喎，因為咧 IQ 咧個 chromosome 嗰個染色體咧，男仔聰唔聰明咧100% 係睇阿媽㗎，因為 X 染色體係負責控制你嘅 intelligence 㗎嘛，咁你諗下啦，你阿爸俾個 Y 你，咁你阿媽俾個 X 你，咁你話你聰明關阿爸事定阿媽事啊？嚇，所以第一咧，你想揾個冇咁醒目嘅老公咧嚇，即係你揾個醒目啲嘅老公咧，你及下佢嗰個老媽子就得㗎啦嚇，你就知道你個男朋友究竟醒目定唔醒目嚇。咁調翻轉啦，同男同學就係，如果你想生個聰明啲嘅仔咧，咁你記得揀個醒目啲嘅另外一半嚇，因為咧佢醒唔醒咧就真係靠佢嘅啫嚇。咁當然啦，咁就唔係淨係呢樣嘢嘅。OK，alright。Anyway, we're talking about that. The genes influence you. If you have a bicycle, no matter you how put your effort, you can't win someone driving the car. OK， 呢個 make sense 啦。你踩到識飛，即係俾黃金寶你，即係咁樣同你落嚟練得住。我都揸架法拉利，你覺得佢贏定我贏啊？但係彌敦道見啦，大家由街頭見到街尾，睇邊個贏啊？咁梗係我贏啦，唔使講，我一揼有100咯喎，我唔信佢踩得快過我，佢會攰，我唔會攰啊嘛，我隻腳會攰咯嚇，我隻腳掌會攰咯嚇。哎呀，好攰啊，踩油踩得好辛苦啊。So that's the biological perspective. They say genes play the most significant efforts. But again, different school talking about different theory. That's why we need to review most those famous perspective of the theories. Alright. Oops. 應該又去翻呢邊嘅喂。好，咁咪講下彈翻轉頭頭先。Okay, so now we need to do the evaluation of the personality theory, right? So for example, we have 6 major character can be employed to help us to establish to understand a good theory should be what, okay? 即係有6個方法咧，可以幫我哋知道咧個 theory 咧點先係有效嘅。First is a verifiable， 即係一定要係可以評估得到嘅 ，OK？ 你驗算唔到，你驗證唔到 ，if you can't be evaluated, right? Or empirically it can't be tested, then like Freud， 喂，真係 Freud 咧，其實咧，如果唔係俾面佢係開山祖師咧，佢個 theory 咧真係唔 suppose 喺 personality 出現，因為佢第一個 criteria 已經唔符合。你點 check 到佢有 oral stage 唔得咧？點樣 check 到佢係戀母情意結咧？即係 𥄫 下佢有冇，即係好似我細個啲女咁樣，我去廁所咧就走嚟 𥄫 我啦嚇，我3個女都係咁嘅喎嚇。不過當然好正常嘅，因為佢冇啊嘛，我有啊嘛，係咪？咁佢咪過嚟 𥄫 下咯。啊，爸爸有冇好睇啫？爸爸咩嚟㗎咁啊？去廁所咯，尿嘅咯咁樣嚇。咁所以咁係咪去算嗰啲戀父情意結咧？呢個係嘛？咁但係你發覺而家佢全部黐媽咪嘅喎，唔黐我嘅喎嚇。 咁當然啦，呢個咧就係我哋要去驗算啊。咁點樣去驗算咧？講嚟講去就係我哋做唔同嘅 test 啦、research 啦，或者用啲數據啦去做分析啊。Testable, empirically generalization, it can be applied to different kind of populations, right? Second is it can be heuristic value, right? 即係可以一個我睇下我條片俾大家睇先啊，我要 download 條片啊，等等我一陣間咧俾少少時間 download 我講埋呢個 PowerPoint 先。So like this kind of theory is helpful to help you to to stimulate you to improve。即係呢個 theory 咧係有得益嘅對你係，例如好似 Roger。They talking about Maslow. They talking about we can improve ourselves. We can fulfill our growth. For human being, if we can establish a complete personality, then we'll be a perfect person. Then that's a list of characteristics. If we can achieve this goal, then we have a good personality. Then we will be a happy life, right? So for the developmental psychology, or we doing the self growth， 即係嗰啲個人成長嗰啲 course 咪強調點樣去進步啊嗰啲俾咧3000幾蚊你嗰啲體法課程咧，其實都係學呢啲嘢㗎，即係叫你點樣去，我哋俾個掌聲嚟，大家俾個掌聲嚟先，我都去上過嗰啲啊，我睇下人哋點樣教啊嘛點解可以收人哋即係其實佢教啲嘢同我教啲嘢唔係好大分別啫，但係點解可以收人哋幾萬蚊一個 course 嘅咧？而有一堆人真係走去上嘅咧，我都好想知啊！咁所以第一個 course 我俾咗幾千蚊去試下水溫先，冇咁傷嘛咁你睇到咧，佢就不斷咁樣嚟俾個掌聲先，俾個激勵先，大家鼓勵下先嗱，你係咪唔夠積極啊？嚟鼓勵大聲啲，係啦，你唔夠積極啦咁樣，即係佢全堂就不斷咁樣喺度係咁講喺度係咁激勵你。咁其實我心諗唔使咁啫係嘛，即係嚇。But the theory suppose we need to doing that because we want to establish your positive side. That's the most important thing for personality psychology to help you to grow, to improve yourself. OK？ 好，我睇有冇條片先，即係3分鐘。好啦，有啲 theory 咧就係想去知道究竟係咪男女係咪有差異咧咁啊？你睇下呢個，覺得男仔立落啲定女仔立落啲咧？大 common sense 你覺得，即係你覺得女仔係耐啲嘅係嘛？應該睇下呢個實驗睇，呢個性格點解啲人咁準時，有啲人試咁樣仲喺度扮輸你咁樣。We actually have a lot of stereotype, okay, on the let's see how they explain it. This is a personality prefix, right? Okay, so that's why we need the theory, right? Some experiment to break down and to give us some insight. Because we have stereotype on men and women, and we also think that, okay, women usually is what? Late, right? Because they spend more time. But the research told you it's not, right? But they use another theory to explain the personality of women, right? They are more obedience, or they are more sociable, kindness, right? But the guys, they are more independent. They don't want to follow the rules. Okay, that's the theory. Try to explain that. That's why we use the theory to explain the personality, right? And then we also need an internal consistency in the theory, right? For example, if I explain that, for example, I give you to do a test today, your outcome, like tomorrow you do a VIA, right? You do the priority, the first top 5 and the last top 5. For example, A, B, C, D, and H, I, E, Z, okay? Next week, I give you do the same things. You will be extremely different outcomes for the first 5 priority and the last 5 priority. Then we will think that this test is reliable. 即係隔一個禮拜，第一個禮拜俾你做咧，你就係好友善啦，好可愛啦，好溫柔啦，好誠懇啦。下一個禮拜你就好殘雞啦，好惡啦，好 aggressive 啦。喂，呢個 test 一睇就知唔準啦，係咁樣係嘛？因為個 test 要 consistent 噶嘛，同埋你就算性格係會變啊，都唔會無啦啦變得咁急咁快。OK， 所以呢個好緊要嘅 ，right？ The theory must be internal consistency, right? And also simple, right? If, for example, do you think Freud's theory is simple or not simple? Freud Sigmund Freud's theory， 即係覺得弗洛伊德講嗰啲咩 developmental， 即係 oral stage 啊 anal stage， 聽完都唔知講乜係嘛？你都覺得你真係會好享受喺度屙屎屙尿啊！即係 anal stage 嘅時候，你仲記唔記得自己係咁啊？我想請問有邊個人記得自己係咁啊？冇人記得自己咁，但係點解佢會話係咧？佢 observe 到小朋友係啊嘛，佢覺得啲小朋友係啊嘛，啲小朋友係咪真係識嘅咧？其實好值得懷疑係嘛 ？And then if the theory is too complicated, then it will be difficult to help us to explain it. So simple is the best because you want your client to know how to improve, how to change. You are not going to scare them, right? That's the things we need to know. And also comprehensiveness, which means that the theory should be cover most of the area, including biological, emotion, cognitive, social, culture, but I can tell you, no theory can do that, all right? That's why we need so many different theories, but we try our best. I mean, the theory can at least cover 2 of the parts of the things we want to measure. 即係你 biological 你都唔係淨係講 biological 啦，起碼都就 cognitive 嗰邊啦，係嘛 ？cognitive 係講 social 嘅嘢嘅喎，係嘛？即係你應該係有幾樣嘢都 cover 到，咁先至可以即係個全面嘅 theory 嚟㗎嘛。你淨係單一思維咁，其實係好狹隘，好似盲人摸象咁樣，係咪？淨睇到一啲，睇唔到一啲。So lastly, it must be functionable significantly. What means that it can apply to daily life and help us to understand what human being doing every day。即係如果個 theory 咧講到天花龍鳳，特別係 Freud 嗰個，咁 Freud 嗰個我唔係踩阿 Freud 啊，其實我都好欣賞阿 Freud 嘅嚇。但係佢有時啲 theory， 喂咁 anal stage 究竟對你日常生活有咩關係咧？係啦，我知我細個好中意玩屎玩尿啦，係啦，我知啊嚇。咁對今天我有啲咩影響咧？其實有嘅 ，Freud 有上個學期有冇講到啊？你 anal stage 如果有問題，你大個係會點啊？你個 oral stage 如果出咗問題，點樣可以觀察到？譬如有冇人成日中意咬飲管嘅，咬手指嘅，嗰啲咪就係你大個嘅時候顯現嘅象徵咯。Your oral stage development is not good, which means you bite your finger frequently. You will be easy to anxiety, right? So this is the theory applied in daily life to help you to understand and to help you to make change. Right, give you inspire and give you some insights, right? So basically, according to that, we have the following school can fulfill this kind of rules, right? Which is psychoanalysis. But I just say Freud is not qualified. Then why psychoanalysis is included? Because psychoanalysis has so many different theories, right? 即係唔係淨得Sigmund Freud一個㗎嘛？有 Jung 啊、Erikson 啊，係嘛？有 Adler 好多一大堆人㗎嘛。咁其他啲人講嘅嘢加埋，整合完之後個 theory 咪完整咯。一個人梗有問題啦。Behavioral school, we have so many theory you have learned last semester, I think. The B.F. Skinner, right? And then the Ivan Pavlov, 即係嗰個 classical conditioning 啊，隻狗流口水嘅咧behavioral school 咯。Humanistic approach。Roger and Maslow 有冇學過啊？嗰個需求層咧，底層就係食嘢，最高層次就係追求目標嗰個，有學過係咪 ？Trait theory 啊 ，trait theory 應該冇學過㗎啦，應該。所以下一堂我哋講先嚇，教啲冇學過嘅嘢，即係做openness 啊、agreeableness 有冇聽過呢啲啊 ？Big Five 嗰啲啊嚇有教都嚇，咁再教得仔細啲啦嚇。Social learning。And cognitive school, right？ 即係Bandura 嗰個啦。Social learning 有冇 detail 咁教？即係點樣學嘢啊？及嘢其實我哋學嘢係及翻嚟嘅，你知唔知啊？係咯，及嘢咯，係就係。And biological school, biological school is talking about the genes. A lot of modern theory to prove. We use the MRI to do the scanning. We use a lot of tests to check your brain, okay? To prove that. 即係你問我最信邊個咧？我最信 biological school 嘅，因為所有嘢都係即係用儀器測出嚟嘅，有 evidence base 去 show 俾你睇嚇。OK， 咁所以我哋之後會逐個 school 講啦。Right no school can cover all the theory, and no school is the perfect. But we try to explain the personality in different way based on these 6 schools, right? Like psychoanalysis, they talking about the unconsciousness. The trait talking about we have a various of personality characteristic. The biological approach or the biological school, we're talking about we have genetics issues. That inherit we will be the genes will talking to us what we will be act like, right? And the humanist approach talking about we have a lot of self-acceptance, we have a key elements. If we fulfill that, we will be a perfect person, right? Behaviorism school say we have behavior is shaping by our pattern, right? We can condition them, we can train our behavior, we can train our personality, right? And the cognition approach saying that what we think represent what we act. So we can change our mind, can change our behavior and our personality. That's the different school saying. And yeah, again, unconsciousness, we're talking about explaining what is aggressive. And we use different school to explain the same concept, like why we have aggression, like psychoanalysis say because we unconsciously we have desire, right? The traits say that we have such element in child, right? The biological says because of the genes, the neurotransmission let us doing that, right? So different school will use different language to talking about that. Humanistic approach is saying that it's a good thing. Aggression, which means encourage you to competition, right? And behaviorism say that because we need punishment or reinforcement to make change of these kind of things. We need educations. Cognition think that we have some environment influence or what we think will connect with our aggression thought or emotion, all because of the emotion, like the inside out. 有冇睇嗰套反轉老朋友啊？係嘛？點解會突然間青少年期個情緒變化咁大嘅咧？小朋友會發火嘅咧？我大女就開始咁啦，即係嗰啲情緒咧，即係差咗啲嘅，係會細個咧就唔會大聲，啲態度咧黑口黑面咁樣㗎嚇。呢啲只我以前我細個做嘅啫，而家我報應不爽啦，即係回力標去翻我度啊，仲要3次添喎，咁我仲有2個喺後面都會應該係會咁。OK， 所以每個 school 有唔同嘅講法，好嘛？咁成個課程咧，我哋就圍繞住呢6個 school 咧，就去解釋人嘅性格係點。咁聽日咧，大家翻嚟咧，我哋就做第一個 test。去了解下你嘅個性，同埋嗰個 test 嘅 report 咧，你要 save 低嘅，因為我哋做功課，好冇？咁好啦，咁聽日 tutorial 見，大家同學，拜拜。